such sights to show you. I have pain. Far weep crown, I weep pity bug.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time again. Of course it is. It's HYGS showing. Hello. With me as ever is the Queen of Evil, Miss Violet. Hello, dear.
Hello, my sweet tortured souls, and hello, random man guy JB. How have you been?
I've been busier than a one-legged man in an ass contest. Cocking? As cocking? As kicking.
Ass cocking, I think, is a very different sport.
I think it is, yes. And it's not one I partake in.
Yeah.
Although, funnily enough, I don't actually partake in any sports. So, there you
No, the only surfing I do is channel surfing.
go. Hey.
Woo! Anyway.
How you been? You all right?
Not too bad. Had the spawn of the darkness birthday creep off on us again, so I was out for that down the arcade. I got to play. You'll like this because you're a gamer as well. I got to play a Halo arcade machine.
Oh, nice.
You actually use the rifles.
Oh, sweet.
Reload, you have to pump.
Oh, wow.
There's one bit where to reload your gun, you've got to pump repeatedly. So I'm stood there in the middle of an arcade with a plastic gun in my hand going,
oh,
yeah.
Well, I'm sure that was such a hardship for you.
Well, it drew some attention, I can tell you that.
I imagine it did, yes.
But other than that, not much going on around here, really.
You're lucky. I've been a busy boy and adventures in music, so. But hey, I'm here. I'm clear, sort of, and I'm ready to go. Where are we tonight? We could be in New York. We could be in Metropolis. We could be in Gotham. We don't know.
Yes. Or even
But more on that later. Because let's go straight into what you've been watching, mate.
This week, again, nothing new, really. I mean, I've been trying to power through Buffy because once I get started on it, I kind of have to get through it. I did recently start a rewatch of Bones because I've not watched it since it finished. I've not done a rewatch since it finished its run with season 12.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, why not? I did like it when it was first on, so let's give it a rewatch.
That is a particular favourite of myself and the Adjudicators. So.
It is a good show, isn't it?
Yep, she's putting thumbs up. So.
Season 3 and 4.
Was that a finger? Well, I'm not sure. I can't see.
But yeah, seasons 3 and 4 are my favourites.
Nice. That could be worth a.
Maybe that's foreshadowing.
Maybe it is. Could be, folks. You never know.
Never know on this.
What have I watched?
More Ahsoka.
Yes, more Ahsoka. Young Sheldon, Series 6.
Oh, is that out now?
It's on. Yes, you stream it on. Well, we've been streaming it on all four.
All four. I may have. It's not on Netflix, I don't think. Netflix only recently got season 5.
Yeah, Netflix ain't got it yet.
Right.
But it's. I think it's currently showing on E4. I think there's like 2 episodes left.
Fair enough. I'll look into that later.
Yeah. Do have a catch up because it's fucking marvelous so far.
Well, I do love it.
Apart from that, so last night, very late last night, I came in from a gig and flicking around on my phone, and I happened to see a certain latest trailer is out for the Doctor Who anniversary.
Oh, yes.
So, of course, me being me, could not resist having looked at it.
Of course, it's the Doctor.
Well, you saw that. Well, I didn't see that. You saw that. Sorry, Sorry, folks. The adjudicator was interrupted. As is her wont.
Brought it to your attention.
Yes. But yeah, the trailer for Doctor Who looks absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And it looks to me like they filmed it in 4K.
Ooh.
Indeed.
That could be interesting.
Yes. Oh, well, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm going to be all over that come November,
Yes.
and I will probably come in November as well and watch it. So there you go.
Apologies, everybody, for that mental image.
I apologise for nothing.
No, I have to apologize for him.
Fuck it. I open my gob, shit comes out. There you go. Deal with it,
Open
folks.
my mouth and we'll leave that at that.
Yes, we will. Do we have
Well,
any shout outs this week?
not at the moment. We will double check back on that.
Yeah, good.
I did see a shout out pop up the other day, but it was a very, very long one, and I've not finished reading it yet.
Well, it does take you a while, dear, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm dyslexic. Give me a fucking chance, yeah?
Sorry.
I'm a slow learner, but I'm a fucking fast mover. Remember that.
Ooh. No, there. Calm down. Only a commercial. So we shall get onwards then to the crux of the matter. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the big Dukeroo. Yeah, Queensbury rules. It's Marvel versus DC. And in the blue corner, or is it the black corner? Could be.
It's the purple corner.
It's the purple corner. It's Miss Violet Impulse representing DC.
I'm your DC girl over here. Whoop, 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 whoop.
And in the star spangled corner is little me calling it out for Marvel.
Yes, like a very pale, very overweight Apollo Creed.
Fuck you! Wow! Yes, I'm pale. I'm fat. Oh wow, let's pick on the fat kid. Yeah, all right.
I can hear the adjudicator giggling in the background.
The adjudicator's pissing her pants.
It was because you said Star Spangled. I just got that image in my head of you dressed as Apollo Creed.
I wish I had his hair.
If you could see inside my head, you'd be
I'd
fucking
rather not see
horrified.
inside of your head.
If you could see inside my head, you'd be fucking horrified.
I've read it on most of your pages. Will you be quiet there, adjudicator?
You're gonna get that for days now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Ooh. Anyway, folks, moving
Back on
swiftly.
track. Yes, I am representing DC for tonight's festivities.
So, right then, Marvel versus DC, seconds out, round one. Over to you for your pick, ladies first.
Well, I'm going to go with one of my all-time favorite DC characters, one that I kind of discovered roughly around the same age as I discovered Batman through the Adam West show. I discovered the original movie from the mid-80s, directed by Wes Craven, no less. And it's the man, the myth, the vegetable, Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yes, Swamp Thing is one of my all-time favorite characters, and it's not just because of the character itself. Like, there's a lot of lore behind the character. It's the kind of the story of how the character came about. It was like a one-shot horror comic in I think it was the late 60s, and then through the 70s and into the 80s, it got its own run, completely redone. But yeah, if you know anything about Swamp Thing, viewers, you'll know what I'm talking about. This character is so
Swampy.
swampy, yes, but there's a lot of almost
Mildew.
moral ambiguity with the character because yes, they're a superhero, yes, they have these powers, but their first and foremost thought is not to defend people, but to defend the planet itself. Because it's an avatar of the green, which is a force of nature. So sometimes it's a hero, sometimes Swamp Thing's more of an anti-hero, like I'm only killing these bad guys because they're in my swamp. You know what I mean? He's not like Batman, like who goes out to arrest people. He's like, no, you're in my swamp, you're dead. And yeah. So yeah, my first pick is Swamp Thing for definite. Do you have any views on the old Swamp Meister?
No, it's not really one I've messed with a lot, so I'm aware of him.
Right,
I'm
reading
aware of his
recommendations.
swampy business. Hmm?
Reading recommendations, then, and this is what really kind of solidified Swamp Thing for me as a great DC character, is the Saga of the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore.
Hmm. Oh well, Alan Moore then. It's
Yeah,
quality.
it's really, really good. It kind of reinvents the character as not just a person who was mutated into a plant creature. It turns out that he's actually some ancient sort of pagan spirit that
Hmm.
is an avatar of nature. It's basically it's a plant that thought it was human,
Yeah.
and it's kind of there's a wonderful bit in the book where it shows basically he goes catatonic trying to come to terms with this, that it thought it was human trying to become human again, but it turns out that it was never human, so it can never become human. And it's like,
Hmm.
how do you deal with that on a mental level? And at the time, the mid 80s, comic books weren't really doing storylines like this too much, like this
Yeah.
dark and this deep and this kind of philosophical, almost kind of questioning the reader, like, oh, never thought of it that way,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And that's just tantamount to Alan Moore's writing, really, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So, yeah, if you don't know the character, that is a good place to start.
Nice. Oh, I shall check that out.
Also, the animated series and the two films and the two different TV series.
Hmm.
There was one done in the mid 90s, which was for its time, and considering it was a sci fi channel show,
Hmm.
yeah, it was decent enough for its time and for its budget.
Hmm.
The more recent series that was on the DC Universe streaming service that kind of collapsed like a flan in a cupboard. Uh, that was a good show. If you've not seen that and you can get hold of it, that is
Hmm.
worth a watch. But it's disappointing because just it ramps things up, then it ends and there's no more. So
Yeah.
it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, Swamp Thing is my first pick.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So we've gone for a swamp. We're going from a swamp to downtown Manhattan and a construction crew.
A construction crew. Hmm.
Yes, folks, we are talking about damage control
Damage control. Yes.
and not the damage control in the latest movies and TV series where they seem to be another government agency. No,
No, no, no, no, no. We're
no,
talking
no,
in
no, no.
comic book.
We are talking about the comic book version of damage control where they are a construction crew with super equipment because let's face it, when you have superhero battles all over your city, shit gets fucked.
Yeah, yeah. There's got to be a cleanup crew.
There has to be a cleanup group, and they have advanced vehicles and all that kind of stuff to clean up after the superheroes
Yeah,
and the supervillains, I guess. So once your Avengers have come in, smashed up half the bloody city, the damage control boys come in and clean it up. And
yeah.
it's a
They're the ones who put it
great.
back together.
There was two sort of limited series of it in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember those. I do remember those.
Yeah, they're really, really cool because they've got their construction boys who always have to sort of like extra pay and hazard pay and stuff like that. Just like the cover of the first issue. First
Yeah,
one is like you got Spidey on the go, right, over to you guys. You got this construction crew with the boss with his stogie hanging out of his gob, and he's like,
yeah.
shit. And he's like, the rest of the boys, they go, boss, are we getting hazard pay for this? It's a really cool kind of light-hearted look at,
The world of superheroes.
yeah, sort of life goes on. It's not just hey, Spidey's going from this to this to this. There's a whole city infrastructure just
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
around it. So yeah, if you get the chance, check that out. It's really worth it.
It also explains, to a certain extent, why these cities can keep getting fucked up over and over and over again with these different superhero battles, and then by the
Mm,
next issue, everything's
yeah,
back to full, everything's put back in place. It's like Shuffle that
Yeah.
back up, put a bit of sellotape over that. It'll be fine. It'll hold. It'll hold.
Mm.
Which reminds me very much of the Power Rangers. How many times did Angel Grove get attacked and buildings
Oh my
destroyed and
God,
God
yeah.
knows how much, and then literally like the same afternoon, everything's fine.
Yeah, that was okay. Never mind the fact that,
Who's the
Goldar's been
contractor?
grown big.
Flash.
Mm.
But
Well, no,
yeah,
it's okay. Never mind that, the Dragon Doors bit that pipe so many times that just the pipe company's there going, fuck,
yeah,
right?
we
Why are
just
we
won't
bothering?
build it. We just won't build it. He keeps coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Why are we fucking bothering doing this for you?
Yeah, yeah, at least Marvel tried to explain it like this is how it gets done.
Yeah,
Other shows just like you don't need to think about that logistical, it's
no,
logic. Don't
yeah.
think. Just
This,
enjoy the pretty colors and the
right.
sword.
This is one of the reasons I like Marvel. They deal with the details.
Yeah. And details make the world more believable.
Yes, they do.
So there we go.
So your turn.
My next pick, I'm gonna go with a bit of a villain here. I
What's about?
say a bit of a villain because the character has kind of back and forth occasionally
Um,
in certain storylines. We did talk about this when we had our Batman episode, and it's a
mm.
character that I think needs more exposure because they are a really deep character. Is Clayface.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the with today's CGI the way it is, the morphing technology they could use on a character
Mm.
like Clayface in new shows, new films, all that kind of thing. You could do it very, very well because it's literally a sentient blob of clay.
Yeah.
The door's wide open to go wacky and weird and crazy with it for what you could do visually.
Mm.
And plus the amount of actors you could get to literally play the same part because he keeps changing appearance.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
You could cameo the hell out of that character.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I
Oh
think
gotcha.
I think it would be a good character to look into as well because the origins of the character. He was an actor who used a clay-like substance to change his appearance for movie roles and got addicted to it. And
Mm.
also, there's a lot to unpack with the character. And I just think that from playing the video games where Clayface is a bad guy, they're some of my favorite boss fights in the game because okay, it's a video game, you learn patterns, but to a certain extent, it's unpredictable
Mm.
what's going to happen the first time you encounter it.
Yeah.
So that's my choice.
Nice.
Good old Clayface. Plus, also in the animated series, voiced by the motherfucking legend, Ron Hellboy Perlman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ron.
We love you, Rob. Come on the show.
We love you,
Hey.
Ron, but where's Hellboy 3?
Apparently coming.
Apparently, but
Yeah, apparently he's interested.
oh, actually, that was a bit of trivia I missed out of the Swamp Thing one.
Yeah.
Back in, I think it was like 2014, 2015,
Mm.
Guillermo del Toro was in talks to do a Justice League Dark movie.
Who was?
Guillermo del Toro, Pan's
Oh, you mean
Labyrinth,
you
all
mean
that.
Guillermo?
Guillermo, however you pronounce it, I'm dyslexic. I'm reading it off a fucking screen. Leave me alone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get hate comments now. Mm. Leave Violet alone, you
Picking
prick.
on me. The wrong way. He's picking on me. Good job.
Mm.
I love you, really. Anyway, he was supposed to be
Mm.
directing a Justice League Dark movie that was going to sort of bounce off the back of the, at the time, going on Constantine TV series.
Yeah.
But Warner Brothers kept pushing it back and back and back because they wanted it to be after the Swamp Thing series to explain where
Right.
the character came from. And that flopped. They had the big problem with that, and then they cancelled it, so it never happened. But I would have loved to have seen that because seeing his films like Pan's Labyrinth and things like that,
Mm.
and what was it? The other one, Shape of Water, was it? The monster one,
Oh, yeah.
and the Hellboy films. You see
Mm.
what he could do, and it's like, Justice League Dark in his hands, I think could work very, very well.
Mm.
But
Definitely.
moving on back to Clayface, and your choice now.
Yes, so we're going from an out of work actor to well, let's see. I'm going to go for another villain because I like him. So why not an out of work actor to a criminal? He's unstoppable. He's got a massive fucking helmet. Yes, you know it, folks. It's Juggernauts.
I'm the
Bang.
Juggernaut, bitch.
Not that one.
Big up Vinnie Jones.
Not that one.
I know
No
the one
boy.
you mean. For me, whenever I hear Juggernaut, I always think of the one from the X-Men animated TV series. Shout out to the
Yes.
Lee World friends of the show.
Yes. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah. I've always had a soft spot for the Juggernaut. There's just something really cool about a character that's not a mutant.
Yeah,
He's not had an accident. He stumbled into his powers by accident. They're
yeah,
magical powers.
yes. Magic based, yeah.
And yeah, Kane Marco, the brother-in-law of Charles Xavier.
Wasn't it half? No, not half brother, step brother.
Yes, I believe it was. Sorry, stepbrother of Charles Xavier.
There we
Sorry,
go.
folks.
Sorry. Confused me a little there. Carry on.
Before I start getting the hate comments. Oh, you got that wrong.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Random
Yeah,
typo shit.
neither do you guys. Well, some of you do in the comments, but the ones who send us the hate mail, you don't know what you're talking about.
Bring me your hate, I'll eat it. And sliver it down with a nice key.
Yes. I'll have your liver with some father pins and a nice Chianti.
Stereo.
Hello, Clarice.
But yeah, that I've always liked. Something I've always liked about big ass kicking fucking machines.
Oh, God.
And there ain't much harder than him because once he gets going, he can't be stopped.
Exactly. I love the clash in the animated series between him and Colossus.
Yeah,
Like
that was a
that's
great
a
one.
throwdown for the ages. We kind
Mm,
of saw that in Deadpool 2.
yeah,
It was in Deadpool 2, but that's not quite the Juggernaut that we're talking about here.
no. Proper comic juggernaut.
Yeah, in the bright orange costume.
Yeah, he's solid. He makes the Hulk look a bit weedy.
Yeah, I must admit, because I'm a big figure collector, I've got the Diamond Select Hulk.
Mm,
Now that thing's big and bulky. The Juggernaut one that they brought out, I think it was about 10, 15 years ago,
mm,
is bigger and wider.
yeah,
And I remember seeing like people hanging it up on pegs on the shelves, and it was that heavy. It was ripping itself off of the packaging. It was that heavy.
yeah.
And I'm like, if you had that action figure, you could probably bludgeon somebody to death with it.
Well, that's it. You see, it's a home deterrent.
But if you can find it now for a good price on eBay, I highly recommend picking up that figure because it's hard to find.
Mm. But no, but yeah, I've always loved in the comics where they just have versus, and they just have a great big old scrap. And it's like him versus Hulk, things like that. It's just brilliant. But he
Definitely.
comes out, of course, with just snappy put downs and shit as well. So it's like,
Didn't he later on in the line down the line in the comic books kind of become a hero?
yeah, he does. He's another one he sort of flips and flops between.
Yeah, he's kind of a little bit back and forth, isn't he, that character?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember hearing about that. Can't
So
remember
yeah,
what it was though, so don't quote me, folks. I don't know. I don't
well,
read
this
comic
is
books.
this is the thing. He does appear in multiple character books.
Yeah, yeah,
He's one of the roving villains of the Marvel universe.
yeah, yeah,
He's not just stuck to one title. So yes, go out there, folks. Try that.
yes, definitely go and seek out some juggernauty goodness,
Mm.
which, in all honesty, could sound like the name of his sex tape.
Juggernauty goodness.
You can't stop the juggernaut. Give me half an hour. I need a breather.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Anyway,
Unstoppable vinegar strokes.
anyway, moving on.
Uh,
My next pick. Are we ready?
yeah, waiting for
Okay.
you.
My next pick, I'm gonna go. This one is kind of obvious and it's borderline between hero and villain because they've kind of been both. And it's kind of obvious, but I gotta give a shout out to my girl, Miss Harley Quinn.
Uh, uh,
I mean, it's the comic book Harley Quinn more so than the live actiony stuff.
hmm,
But for me, Harley Quinn is one of those characters that just came out of nowhere, took the world by storm, and
hmm,
somewhat 25 odd years later is still around,
yeah.
still just as popular, has countless interpretations, whether she's a hero, a villain. I even remember in one of the stories that I read, she was a vampire.
Hmm.
Just the character here is part of pop culture now. Joker and
Oh,
Harley.
God, yeah.
So I can't say too much more than people already know about Harley. We know
Hmm.
ins and outs of the characters, the ups and downs with her relationships, the people she's had them with, her flings with Poison Ivy, hanging around with the Sirens.
Yeah.
She's one of those characters that, like I said, just popped up and fit right in with the DC universe as
Hmm.
a whole. When it started in the animated series, was so popular they ported her into the comic books, and the rest is fucking history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just Harley motherfucking Quinn.
I think it's also a great way to come out to go from animated into the comics because let's face it, it is always the other way around. But I,
Normally, yes, there's very few characters where they've
mm,
appeared in a show or expanded media and then gone into the comic books. It's usually the other way around, like you said.
yeah,
So yeah, brilliant example of it.
yeah. Well, she's out there. She's huge. I mean, Christ's sake, Kevin Smith named his daughter after
Exactly. So, like I said, there's not much more we can say about the lovely Miss Quinn that hasn't already been said.
her. No.
But she out of all of my figure collection,
Mm.
only her and RC from the Transformers that I have more than one figure of. So, that says something. I've got like four Harley Quinn figures. I've got a picture of the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn right up here. You won't be able to see it because I'm not moving my camera. Fuck that. But there's a nice big picture up there above my computer. So she's with me every time I'm working. So, yeah, I love Harley Quinn.
Nice. Right. That's
Three each.
three for you and two for me.
Oh, yes, three for me. This is your third.
Oh, my third pick. Well, this isn't going to be a big surprise to, I'd say, fans of the show, um,
Viewers,
tolerators of the show, our dear listeners.
tolerators, people who watch it for a giggle,
Yes, haters.
people who watch it with the sound down to
Well, I am beautiful.
you are. I mean,
In an
let's
Apollo
face
Creedy
it.
kind of way.
For some of our viewers, every time we come on the screen, so do they.
Yeah, exactly. So, and
But with hate.
we don't judge you for it. Totally judging you for it. So yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go with Wolvie.
Of
I've been
course.
doing the Wolverine.
Of course. Got to throw a big name out every once in a while. We can't do the full underground set because
Yeah.
most viewers would be sat here going, who?
Hey, what? What could we say that's not already been said? And which Wolverine am I thinking about? Can't have a guess.
I think you're going to go with the OG comic brown suit Wolverine because that's
Yeah,
your favorite. And I have an action figure of it and you keep trying to steal it.
yes, I do.
I'm not going to let you.
May not have a choice.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of an arrangement.
Yeah. Yes, I'll stop taking a piss at you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'd work for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes all I need to nick that figure.
Yeah, 5 minutes is all you can last. At least from what I hear.
Oh, 5 minutes. I wish. Go twice in that time.
I'd have a smoke in the middle.
You're too right. But yeah, folks, what can you say? Wolverine's an icon.
Yes, yes, played by Hugh Jackman in live action, voiced by the likes of Cal Dodd, uh,
The
God knows,
best voice.
Mark Hamill in one of the video games voiced it.
Yes.
I know because I've got it on my PS2. Wolverine's
Nice.
Revenge.
But for me, the the best voice, the voice I will always hear in my head will be Cal Dodd when I'm
Oh
reading the
God,
comics.
yeah, same. I mean, we've talked about this many times, even when we had the Wilds on the show.
Mm,
There's certain because of that show, there is just every X-Men character. You look at them, whether it's a picture, action figure, whatever. There are just some characters from that show you look at and you hear the voice of their animated counterpart. Like every time I look at Rogue, I hear Lenora Zahn.
yeah. Oh
Uh,
God, yeah.
Beast, I always hear that voice as well. And Cal
Mm,
Dodd, every time I look at a Wolverine figure, the first thing that pops up into my head is "Hey Bub" in that
yeah.
voice
Mm,
every fucking time, and his growls as well.
yeah.
Like if my action figure comes with a screaming Wolverine head, I hear that scream.
Mm.
So yeah, I completely get you with that one.
So
Tangent.
yeah, it's got to be done. And plus the fact, let's face it, Wolverine had turned Harley Quinn to shish kebab.
Oh, true, true. But I mean, she's
You
she's
know it, folks.
unpredictable. She's unpredictable. I think she could give him a run for his money.
No, no. You'd have it chopped up into pieces in 2 seconds.
Well, that moves on to my number four choice then.
Mm.
And this one, seeing, funnily enough, as you mentioned, Mr. Razor Claus himself, this one's a slight bending of the rules, maybe, possibly. For me, I'm going to go with the Amalgam Universe,
Oh.
Dark Claw,
Mm.
a combination of Wolverine and Batman.
It's a very big band of the rules.
Well, I mean, it's Marvel versus DC, and even if the companies at one time can kind of draw
Yes,
a
it's Marvel.
line, no, call it a no
Marvel
man's
first.
land, call it a no man's land where they have peace for one day, they make one story together. There you go.
No, it's not. It's Marvel versus DC, not Marvel humping DC.
I still stand by my pick, Dark Claw, Thomas
All
Logan,
right.
Logan Wayne, sorry.
Mm.
Just the character design alone, it's the best of both. You've got the cowl flick of Wolverine, you've got the claws that look like batarangs, you've got yellows and blacks everywhere. It's seriously, if you don't know the character, go and check it out, guy, because it looks really cool.
There's another character I've seen it, silly head.
And plus, with that, you come along with the hyena, which is a combination of Sabretooth and Joker. So,
Mm.
those two from the Amalgam universe. Like I said, it's a slight bending of the rules for me, but I still stand by it.
Hold on, we're gonna have to go to the adjudicator and see if she'll allow it.
Didn't hear so yet. I think that's a point to me, honey.
It's only because she's not listening.
Like I said, it's more of a bending of the rules because if the companies can call peace for one pick, then I'm sure I can too.
Mm. Okay.
So who's number four for you then, guy?
For me, number four, this is again a bit of a weird choice, but I'm going to go with the Destroyer himself, Galactus.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there is always something that's just cool to me about him. He's fucking huge. He destroys planets.
Yeah,
He eats them.
yeah, yeah.
He's he's kind of also like a constant threat in the Fantastic Four universe,
Oh yeah, I remember the old animated series that was on in the 90s. He was constantly either referenced or showing up in episodes or
or on his way.
yeah, or yeah, I think the Silver Surfer arc was like what 5 or 6 episodes of that series.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, quite a big deal for the Fantastic Four. And if Marvel pull their finger out and get shit done properly, I think bringing Galactus in as the next kind of cosmic threat after Thanos
Mm,
could be well done because it's a good way to introduce the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and
mm.
all the other characters.
Well, that's the thing. He's another one who has appeared in multiple character books.
He has, yeah.
So there's just yeah, the idea of someone that is not particularly evil. He's just dude's just hungry.
Yeah, he's just going from planet to planet that's got enough of what he needs to keep him sustained for the next
Mm,
X amount of time. You know, he's as evil as us going down to Burger King or McDonald's. You know,
yeah.
we don't hate the burger. We don't want to destroy the burger, but it's us or the burger.
No, I want
You
to turn
know?
it into poo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's face it. I think maybe Galactus has already come to Earth and devoured it then, because things are shit enough as they are. We don't need to go through his colon.
Mm, but yeah, there's just something about just that inevitable
It's the silhouette.
fucking
It's the
yeah,
silhouette he cuts for me. That crown helmet thing he
yeah.
wears. The minute you see the shape of that, even just in shadow, it's like,
Mm, we've
ooh,
and the amount of comic books they've been where he's come along and everyone's banded together to go right. We got to figure this shit out. Try and beat him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Although,
it's just
although if you've read the Marvel Zombies, in that he did get devoured by the zombies, and then the zombies all gained cosmic powers.
yeah. No, I've not read that. So.
I've only read it once, and that was
Mm.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's zombies. I like zombies. You know this.
Mm,
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Galactus is kind of like I said. I think with the MCU going forward, they
mm,
should probably start now pulling in those little ties to show Galactus is coming. Because
yeah.
Kang, I'm sorry, but I watched
Oh,
Mania. I
yeah.
did not see him as a threatening character.
No. Oh, okay. So tangent alert, folks. By the
Tangent,
way.
tangent.
But yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just sort of like, really?
Yeah, I don't see him as
You're
threatening.
giving us Kang after Thanos. You're giving us fucking Kang.
Yeah, and considering that he got his ass handed to him pretty definitively by the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see the character as threatening. I really don't. Even when
Well,
he,
that was a Kang.
well, A can, yeah, but even the multiple versions that they showed, I'm like, I'm not buying this as a threat.
No,
I'm
I'm
not.
not.
If if
It's
if the
oh,
Silver Surfer showed up and said Galactus is fucking coming,
mm,
I think a lot of fans would be like, "Ooh,
yeah, but you need that in a post credit scene, something or a mid credit
yeah,
scene.
yeah." Very much like they did with Thanos. They built Thanos
Mm,
up in the post-credit scenes over a number of films before they did a full reveal of him.
yeah.
Think if they do the same thing with the Silver Surfer and Galactus, it could be just as good as the
Mm,
previous, events we've done up to Endgame and all that kind of shit. But
yeah.
we're not the writers at Marvel. We fucking should be, but we're not.
Hmm. Yeah, Marvel, if you're listening, give us a holler.
Yeah, if
We
you want
got
to get it, if you want to get the MCU back on track,
yeah.
by us too.
We have notes.
Yes, we have a lot of fucking notes. But anyway,
Yes. Sorry, tangent out, folks.
tangent done.
It is pick number 5 for your good self.
Right, this one probably again very, very obvious,
Hmm.
but given the age of the character at this point, and I mean real world age, how could I not have this as my top pick for DC? And it is none other than the Condiment King. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Ah,
pulled the rug out from under you on that one, didn't I? No, it's not the Condiment King. He's one of my honorable mentions.
Mm.
I would have
Oh.
going with a not hero, not villain, kind of in the middle character again. One of my favorite characters, Man Bat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Kirk Langstrom was
Pardon me again.
working on a cure for deafness, and in the process turned himself into a mutant bat creature, and kind of went on a murderous rampage, fighting with his wife, tragically. If you know anything about the story of the character, he was good enough to be in the first ever episode of Batman the Animated Series on Leather Wings. So, the character has landmark moments with it. But yeah, Man Bat for me was just an interesting character because it was like Batman is a man who acts like a bat to instill fear in criminals.
Yeah.
Whereas Man Bat is a mutant monster that scares the crap out of everybody. Even Batman was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, and the character's been around for quite a long time, I think since the mid 60s, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so the character has been around for a very long time, and I think much like a lot of the characters, apart from like the big names Harley Quinn and Wolverine, I think a lot of the characters we've spoken about tonight do need more screen time.
Yeah.
Not just in animated shows. I mean, with the live action films that they're doing, like Blue Beetle's not long come out, and apparently that's doing really well. The Flash
Yeah.
is really well. So I think bringing in more characters like Man Bat and some of the more obscure characters, even if it's like do a film set in Arkham and you see all these different characters, even if it's just a one-shot cameo for a moment,
Yeah.
sets up the larger world.
Yeah.
More villains out there.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I've said before. I mean, if you're gonna have like the more sort of C division, say
Yeah.
things going, I've always loved to have a live action Alpha Flight.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think that's another thing that Marvel really kind of
Drop the ball.
not so much drop the ball. I think they're kind of a little bit nearsighted with it, where they look at these characters like the big names Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, the Avengers, all that. They look at these names, and right now, they're names that make bank.
Yeah.
They're the names that pull in the big money for them. The obscure characters like Alpha Flight, Puck, and Sasquatch, characters like that, they're like, oh, not many people know these. They don't have much mass market appeal. Well, how about this, Disney? How about this, Marvel? They'd have more appeal if you introduce them to a wider audience.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people scoffed at them doing Guardians, but it worked. So maybe,
Yeah, I must admit, when I heard Guardians of the Galaxy was getting made, I was like, really?
Yeah. So was ours. Just like, what?
Yeah, because I mean that was a fairly obscure comic book.
Yeah, I could have named a load that should have been made before Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my daughter didn't know who Moon Knight was until the TV show.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Perfect platform for it. Do a short run series, 6 episodes or something. If it doesn't take off, to leave that character alone. If it catches on, do more with them.
Yeah.
Sorry, tangented there for for my number 5 pick, but yeah,
it's a fair point though.
So that was my pick, number 5, Man Bat.
Lovely. I'm gonna go for another obvious for my number 5. I did make a reference earlier to Star Spangled, so I'm gonna have to go with the Captain himself, Captain America.
Captain America. That is America's ass.
But I do prefer the comics.
Yeah, especially when you throw a shield at somebody and it says wank.
Yes. You can't be. If you're British and you're reading an American comic, it's just got wank in big letters.
Yeah.
Just.
Because over here in Britain, we read these American comics and it says like that. Look, he wanked his enemy to death.
Yeah. What a way to go. Yeah.
He didn't know whether he was coming or going.
Oh, queue up for that.
Anyway, yes, Captain America. Much like
Mm,
you, I'm more of a fan of the comic books.
yeah, because it does take it in a darker direction.
Yes,
Because
especially the stuff with Bucky.
mm,
Like
yeah,
when they come back as the Winter Soldier, I remember seeing some of that like early stuff, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, ho, 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 ho.
the films were good, but the comics, I'm sorry, were
Oh,
better.
don't get me wrong. Chris Evans playing
Mm,
Captain
yeah,
America fucking nailed it.
mm,
You believed him as Captain America. You really, really did. This
yeah,
all-American hero who stands up for the little guys because he was the little guy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
really did get that from him. But like I said, the comic books, just that little bit better.
Mm. But the comic books sort of do deal with him more being a man out of his time,
Yes, they do. Yeah.
and they struggle with that, and just the way he sees the world is just not the world that he defended back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I must admit, in the Avengers, there was moments like that where they make all these pop
Mm,
references and he doesn't get them.
yeah,
And I think is it Tony Stark says something about flying monkeys, and he goes, "Oh, I got that one."
yeah, yeah. And there's one where Black Widow makes a reference to the film War Games in Winter Soldier, and he goes, "No, I saw that."
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's little moments like that in the MCU that kind of make you realize that yeah, this character is actually mentally
Yeah,
80, 90 odd years old. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. He comes from a golden age of defending America. And
yeah, patriotism came first and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff. It's very different
he
world,
lives.
very different world.
Yeah, he lives in an increasingly more promiscuous society,
Yeah,
and is sort of, is dealing with that. Sort of like, what the fuck am I actually defending here?
yeah, yeah.
There's a lot more of that in the comics, and
Yeah, there is a
it's
lot of depth there. I mean, even at one point in the comics, I do remember he kind of, it was kind of funny. He stood down as Captain America for a
yeah,
bit and went as US agent,
mm,
which they've kind of started to do something with that in the MCU, but I'm not liking the actor who plays him.
how do you know?
I thought he played the part well,
Mm,
but I don't know, it's just something about him. I don't know.
it's Jeff Bridges' son.
Is it?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
there you go. See,
Yeah.
trivia right here.
There we go. There we go. But right then, I think that's about it, and it's time for
Yep.
some honorable mentions.
Ooh, go on then.
I think for me, I'm going to do a Marvel honorable mention here.
Oh,
We cannot forget the likes of three of my favorite heroes. Well, two heroes, one's a bit of a gun happy nut job,
mm,
is Spider-Man, Daredevil, and the Punisher.
nice,
They
nice.
are three of my all-time favorite characters. They're the
Mm,
characters that any new stuff comes along, I'll give it a
yeah,
shout. Like video
Punisher
games,
did. Punisher nearly made my list.
I don't blame
Nearly
you.
made my list.
Very, very good. Getting more famous nowadays, getting more of a,
Yeah,
thing now, but that's mainly because of the show they did a few years ago,
yeah.
which I fucking love that. It's what I wanted to see from a Punisher show. Bloody, brutal,
Mm,
nail your balls to the wall kind of fucking action.
yeah, no compromise, Frank Castle. That's what we
Yeah,
want.
Frank at his absolute worst slash best.
Mm,
That's what I wanted to see. That fight between him and Jigsaw, where he's bashing his face into the mirror.
mm, yeah.
I, I don't get me wrong. I love a good like bit of violence and gore in a film, but even I sat watching that like by the third or fourth time he's
Mm.
rammed his head into it. I'm sat there like,
Is
oh,
that enough?
oh, dude, I get it, I know, but let him go. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah, because sort of more like the old comic book series Punisher War Journal,
Yes, the
a
Welcome
lot
Back
darker.
Tony series, the Welcome Back
Mm.
Tony series. That's a really good one. So, who are your honourable mentions going to be then, guy?
Well, my honourable mention. I mean, Batman's got to be in there because the Batman, and also Sergeant Rock.
Sergeant Rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do. I love shooty guns and war action. So he's got to be in there.
Almost the DC equivalent to old school Nick Fury.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Nick Fury back when he was a middle-aged white dude with an eye patch, not Samuel L. Jackson.
yeah. That's the one. And unfortunately, once he was David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, in a TV movie. Yeah, that was.
But we don't talk about that. Both has been
Yeah,
stricken from the record.
we won't scar your memories with that one. Don't seek out that. Really, don't.
No,
I watched it once on Sky because it just happened to be on as I was getting in, and I was like, "This is bad." Like, it's not even a. It wasn't even a good made-for-TV comic book movie, or it was just.
as big a Knight Rider fan as I am,
That was a bad.
Hasselhoff can't do Nick Fury.
No, he can't. He can't. I mean, he may have had the look from the comic books at the time.
No, he didn't.
Close, but yeah.
Hair was too fucking curly.
Anyway, I have one last and honorable mention, and it's DC one. And again, gotta go with a villain. I love a good villain, and this villain's one of my favorites, Scarecrow.
Nice, good choice. Good choice.
The fact that they use your own fears against you
Yeah,
is you can do so much with that.
yeah.
Like I recently watched Titans season 3.
Oh yeah.
Scarecrow is one of the main bad guys in that, who I didn't realize until the end of the season was played by Vincent Kartheiser, who played Connor in Angel.
Ah,
Yeah, I did not realize. When he first comes into it, he's got really long, shaggy hair and a big, huge beard.
mm.
And I haven't seen that guy in anything since Angel. So,
We can say that a lot about a lot of the cast of those shows.
well, I mean, true, but it was like, it was part of the character. And then at the end, he slicks his hair back, he shaves his face. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Connor.
Yeah. Well, there you fucking go.
But shout out for this one.
Mm.
My favorite interpretation of Scarecrow, voice actor wise,
Mm.
is from the Injustice 2 video game because how perfect of a casting would this be? Robert Englund playing the Scarecrow.
Mm. Nice.
I
I've not
think
played two.
I think to have Freddy Krueger himself voicing the Master of Fear Scarecrow is just a
Yeah.
fucking no-brainer, really.
No, it's not like he ain't got the chops for it. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
hell no. Even if they brought him in now at his age, I think if they just got him to even do the voice of the character when he's got the mask on, it would still work for me.
Shit, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know, hearing that sinister,
Mm.
that voice he does, that Freddy-esque voice, just gets me all shivering in the right places.
I say you look more like you were enjoying it than you were a bit.
Well, we all know I am the demon queen of pain and suffering. Hello.
Oh, yeah, that would it.
Add fear and nightmares into there too. Oh, actually, that's a good husband for me, isn't
I
it?
just thought you were into older men.
Well, I mean, they're more into me than I'm into them, if you get what I mean.
Uh, that's that piece of graffiti on the front
Yeah,
wall that he was about
yeah. I ain't after no sugar daddy, thank you.
that.
But that
Ain't saying she's a gold digger.
in this town, it's more like digging for tin. I got him. I got him.
Oh, shit.
I got you good this time. Yay!
Any old on, any old on.
Wait me.
Hey, there you go, folks.
we
Rare
got
occurrence.
we got him, viewers. We got him.
Yeah, I know, but let's face it. Overall, he's winning.
Yeah, true. Anyway, do you have any more honorable mentions?
Um, none spring to mind.
None spring to mind right now. Fair enough. Then I mean,
Just
we could be
basically,
here all day. We could literally list all the
we
characters.
could. Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
read
this is the
like
thing.
each one of them.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, actually, one has just sprung to mind. It'd be a Marvel one for Charles Xavier.
Oh yes, yes.
Because let's face it, when he lets it loose, that is a very dangerous man. Hendrix, will you piss off?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When his power goes all out, he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
he leads into the character Onslaught, which was a fusion of Xavier's darker impulses and
mm,
Magneto's power.
yeah,
So I mean, that's a character to be scared of.
yeah, definitely. Sorry
Telekinetic
about this, folks.
master of metal, like oh,
Mm,
you know what I mean? That's hello, Hendrix, reporting from the field,
yes, he is. And he's
half
wet.
asleep,
Oh,
blinking his eyes.
hello.
Oh.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Well, then I think on that note, it's time for us to wrap things up.
Yeah, I've got my pussy out, so
Yeah, he's got his
that will
pussy
do.
out. He's stroking it on the camera for everybody. So it's time for us to say goodnight
Yep.
before this turns into an OnlyFans episode.
So yeah, right then. So will you fuck off? No? You're not fucking up, mate. Anyway, folks, that will do it for us tonight. I've been random JB and Hendrix.
Hendrix.
Oh, I know. Wait, I know.
And I have been Miss Violet Impulse.
That
Here we go then. Good night, my sweet tortured souls. And remember, if you can't be good, be twisted. Don't get mad, baby. Get sadistic. Bye.
see you from me and the boy.
Bye bye, everyone.